Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Umineko When They Cry. We are going to be jumping into episode 3, which I've heard some good things about episode 3. Honestly, I get like a mixed bag of opinions when it comes to all of these episodes. I do think people mostly said that episode 1 was, a little iffy, though I really enjoyed it for what it had to offer with introducing us to characters. Going back to it, probably wouldn't really enjoy the first half because it would feel like a slog now that we've met everybody, but the second half was a lot of fun. Second episode, looking back on it now, while I did enjoy it, I can definitely see why some may complain about it because that shit was pretty confusing. Very, actually. I really don't know what to think about it even now. I've had a little bit of time to kind of ponder it, and there's not really much to ponder because, sure, we got, I guess the red text. We got to see a few more interesting characters, some attractive, some are goats. Just kind of a weird, mixed bag of this and that, where I'm sure it was a very important chapter for various reasons, but also kind of ridiculous in other reasons. Becoming a little bit less of a, modern or I guess regular mystery story and something even more. Still a mystery, but yeah, things are beginning to shift now that we know a little bit more after our adventures with episode 1. So we will jump into episode 3. I already stated whatever thoughts I had in my very long episode 2 finale, which wasn't the plan. It's just I talked for like 20 minutes at the end for whatever reason. And I think that was very similar to episode 1, except with episode 1, I was just recording more content than I thought I was. Hopefully, I learn this time around when we get to the end of this one. And I will stop rambling, don't you worry, but first I'd like to go to the characters because people were saying that that they probably, or what were they saying? What were people saying in the last video? I think they were saying that I did not read the stuff for Beatrice, Burnt Castile, and the fuck is her name? Lambda Delta, because they were different potentially than what they were whenever we were in that mystery area at the very end of episode 2. So I'm just going to read them again because it's a nice little bit of a recap here. And it's also worth noting that in the idea of there being witches, magic, and whatever else, that the characters over here on the right side of this panel are also very key for specific reasons. I would say Genji is a little surprising, but I think we need to keep our eye on Genji here. There's more than meets the eye with Genji, which people have been telling me, but do I listen? Not really. Beatrice, the endless witch who has lived for 1,000 years. She is known for being exceptionally cruel, even among witches. She loves bullying the weak and is capable of using trial and error endlessly to find the cruelest fate that they can possibly be given. Excuse me. And she toys with her victims even further by piling on one after another. This witch is extremely powerful, but word has it that she sometimes becomes obsessed with the art of creating certain patterns so that her means end up becoming her goals. That all sounds very familiar. I think I've read that, but either way, Burnt Castile, the Witch of Miracles who has lived for 1,000 years, her vast power is capable of creating all kinds of miracles, but her heart has broken a bit as a result. Back when she was a human, Lambda Delta once imprisoned her within a cruel fate, toying with her the whole time. It seems that she's unable to abandon others who are caught within a similar fate. In theory, she holds the strongest power of any witch, but in practice, that is no more realistic than saying that a piece of paper can reach the moon if you fold it 100 times. And fold it 100 times she did. Okay, you know what? This I most definitely did not read. I also never realized that she had a tail. So, that's pretty interesting, given the visual connection that we can make here with Lambda Delta, at least. I mean, this sounds very familiar, doesn't it, Higurashi folk? And then there is Lambda Delta, which we had met last time, the Witch of Certainty who has lived for 1,000 years. She embodies the idea that hard workers are rewarded and is highly respected even by humans. Though she is a witch, she does not stray far from the concepts of humans. For that reason, her power as one worshipped by humans is incalculable. However, she is fickle about whose efforts she chooses to reward, and in many cases, she bestows her favor upon those who can please her the most. Which is weird, because she's supposed to be teaming up with Beatrice here, but she's also trying to help us? I don't know. That was kind of weird. Very contradictory. Her massive, swift, and terrifying power can cause any witch to submit in an instant. However, she is often reckless, and Bernkastel was able to take full advantage of that. There is a little bit of a connection here that I'm sure we can kind of see, and I'm sure there's going to be more hints to that connection, and I love to see that, actually. That's so cool. Also, I've been in a little bit of a When They Cry, like, not streak, I don't really know what you can kind of call it. I just finished watching Higurashi When They Cry Go, and my brain has definitely been, you know, around that probably more than it should have been, especially since Umineko is kind of like the big thing that I'm reading through right now. But I'm very much wanting to continue this, and I think I should have given it more time, at least a month, but I want to get back in it. I want to see what episode 3 has to offer, and yeah, I mean, without further ado... Oh, yeah, wait, hold on. There's one more thing, because I think I talked about this in the beginning of my playthrough for explaining what it was and why I was doing it. For a few months now, I would say 8 months. I don't know. When was September? Whenever September was of last year, it is now April, I began cutting out parts of my visual novel Let's Plays to help with my fair use argument. And I'm going to talk about this more in an update video, so if you don't give a shit, do not worry. And my cuts also extended here to Umineko. If things just weren't going on and I wasn't commentating or whatever, then I would just cut out a few lines to make this less of a substitute for reading the visual novel. Those who are coming in, who have definitely gone through the visual novel, didn't like that because it caused some problems in trying to know where things popped up. And yeah, I understand the argument that, you know, who's to say that I didn't accidentally cut out the one fucking line in episode 1 that was actually the key to solving the goddamn mystery. Something super obscure and something that Dr. Nanjo probably fucking said. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, this is a blind playthrough for me. But a lot of people have done these playthroughs, not saying that just because they did, I'm in the okay. However, after giving it months of thought, this is something that's weighed on me for a while. I'm just going to go back to the old way, and I'm not going to try and fluff my commentary, but I definitely think that's something I was kind of lacking for a while, so I'll definitely try to do better, and even commentate in the stupidest of ways, but hopefully also in the most constructive of ways, as I always have been. So we'll just be going back to the old way that I used to do things, basically. However, there are like weird 2-minute long intervals where I'm just not commentating because I'm zonked out because nothing is fucking happening. I'm gonna have to do something there. I'm gonna make it more situational, but I don't think that's gonna be happening here. I've been pretty engaged with all this. Except for like the moments where like the family's just bickering over money, or Maria's talking, or Ava's talking. There are some where it's like, ugh, oh, I'm getting a call. I need to answer this call. Okay, that was definitely a longer phone call than I was expecting. I have no idea where we are or what is happening. I'm kind of tempted to actually just kind of restart the episode because I didn't really see anything. Like as soon as I picked up the phone, that was bad timing. But okay, let's try that again. You know, round 2. Let's start for realsies this time. That was a phone call that I needed to take. So, that is my bad, though. All right, episode 3. This time for real. This time for real. All right. Story is fantasy. Absolutely. 100%. All right, where are we? Where are we starting all of this? I actually don't even know what this building is. I don't know if this is on the island. I kind of doubt it. Unless this is the This isn't the chapel that's on the island, is it? This has to be elsewhere, I'm sure. The vase was very beautiful, rich with history and value. Even as young as I was, it still forced me to take a deep breath when I witnessed its beauty. Of course, it was a member of Grandfather's favorite collection. So that I didn't accidentally destroy its fragile beauty, I was always given strict orders never to touch it. But that just made me want to touch it. It happens. It looked light, and yet so elegant that just glancing at it gave it an indescribable sense of dignity. I wanted to see what it felt like to touch a vase like that. However, just as Grandfather had said, it was a thing that shouldn't be touched. Something this beautiful should never be touched. Such beauty can only dwell in something so easily broken. Because of that, just the brush of a finger by someone like me would. Just like how a fun dream disappears with a poof when you wake up, it disappeared, fell, and broke into pieces. I don't know who it is we're following, but you stupid idiot. How dare you? You just betrayed a simple, a simple order. A simple instruction. But whatever. I realized that because of my own foolish curiosity, I had done something that couldn't be taken back. No matter how much I regretted it, no matter how much I apologized, the broken vase would not be returned to its original form. Grandfather will probably scold me. Probably very harshly. I ended up breaking into tears and sobbing, frightened. As I did, I noticed something beautiful. Lightly dancing golden butterflies were coming towards me. Oh, I wonder what that signifies. We've never seen this before. As mysteriously glowing golden dots shone in the air, the butterflies began to gather one at a time. Oh, it's Beatrice. Beatrice, that reliable golden witch had arrived. As she tends to do, on occasion. That isn't what I was expecting. Who the fuck is this? The butterflies kept gathering until they formed a cloud, and then she was there. You're not Beatrice. She was always there for me. Is this? No, this isn't Beatrice whatsoever. This is somebody completely different. Whenever I was in trouble, she would always appear and save me. Yeah, what?
Beatrice!
Who is it that we're following? What the hell's going on?
おやおや、このような絶好のお茶会日和にどうして姫様はそのように涙をこぼされているのですか？おじい様が大切にしていた壺をおじい様に
I mean, it wouldn't have broken if, like, you just, listened.
どうしたらいいかわからなくて
Such a simple instruction and everything.
それは困りましたね。これは親方様が大層お気に入りになられていた壺のはず。どのような折感があるか、このベアトリーチェ、想像するのも恐ろしゅうございます。
I'm very confused. How many times have I said that I was confused in this playthrough so far? Grandfather was a very frightening person, and when you failed to follow something he said even once, he would become so mad with a rage that would make even the fallen angels in hell quiver. Since I knew that down to my bones, I couldn't do anything but tremble and cry.
こぼしてしまった姫様の涙を救う魔法は持ち合わせておりませんが、姫様が親方様から折檻を受けなくて済むようにする魔法なら、なんとかなるかもしれません。本当？姫様が私の力をお信じくだされば。
Yeah, that is a necessity.
魔法の力の根源は信じる力。奇跡はそれを強く信じる者の前にしか示されません。
It's always miracles.
信じる。ベアトリーチェの魔法を信じます。だからこの壺を直してください。お願いします。姫様がそれをお望みでしたら、それではこのベアトリーチェにお任せを。
What? Okay. When she extended her index finger, a golden butterfly softly landed there and changed its form into her favorite cane. Is this like a this isn't Beatrice. It doesn't even sound like her. Or, I don't know, it could be the same voice actors, but the tone is completely different and everything. Everything about this character screams that it's somebody else. But, yeah, what do I know? But even that was enough to give me a small glimpse at Beatrice's wonderful and awesome magic power. She pointed her cane at the broken vase, and just like a child's lullaby, she began speaking the magic words.
さあさあ、目を閉じてごらんなさい。そして思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。それはきっと、とてもとても美しい姿。
I think this was actually,
あの姿をもう一度見せておくれ。
This is something similar to episode 2 with Maria's candy, I think. Were they words or was it a song? No, it had to be magic. Yeah, I think this is very similar to that instance. But what does that mean? What does that tell us here? After all, can't you see the pieces of the vase are rapidly gathering together, gently returning to the place where they've been on display, reassembling into their original form.
すごい。ほら、これで元通りですよ。これでお館様にお叱りを受けずに済みますね。
So it's strange. If this was Beatrice, I feel like there'd be something in exchange that would be wanted here. But she just did it. This mystery woman just did what was requested. No questions asked. She just knew that the repercussions were going to be rough. What is this?
ベアトリーチェはすごいね。壊れた壺を直すなんて造作もないんだね。そんなことはありませんよ。壊れてしまったものを元に戻すのはとてもとても難しいことです。私の魔法は一時それを思い出させるだけに過ぎませんよ。
Hmm.
でも、壺は
No,
ちゃんと
that's actually a very interesting statement there. What did she mean by that?
ですがそれは壺が壊れたという運命を回避させたわけではありません。
Which means
壊れた壺に一時
eventually it will be broken
壊れる前の
again?
姿を思い出させるだけに過ぎません。壊れた運命を元の姿に修復するほどの魔力はこのベアトリーチェにも未だ至らぬ遥かな高みなのです。
At that time, the high-pitched scream of a servant could be heard from inside the mansion. Is it already broken? When I went to see what had happened, I noticed that several of the servants had gathered and were cleaning up the remains of the broken vase. That really didn't take long, though. From what they said, it seemed a black cat had sneaked in from somewhere and had climbed up on the vase, causing it to break. Well, whoever we're following here just got a big escape plan going on here that just was completely successful. I understood the meaning of Beatrice's words. At the moment I broke the vase was broken. Beatrice let me see the vase being restored, but that was a temporary thing. It didn't mean that she'd changed the fate of the vase being broken, and so the vase remembered its true fate and broke. However, the one who broke it wasn't me, but a cat that had snuck in. That's right. Beatrice never said, "Let's fix the vase." She said that she would prevent the master from scolding me. Okay. I mean, she did say that she couldn't fix the vase. The fate of the vase breaking hasn't changed, but the fact that I broke it certainly has. Beatrice cleverly saved me from the danger with that magic. I feel like there's something that we can take from this, actually. There's a big clue behind the idea of this magic here.
姫様が壺を割るのに魔法を必要としなかったように。直すことはとても難しいこと？はい。姫様が途方に暮れて泣き出してしまうほどに。魔法というのは恐ろしいことをする時の方がたやすいの？
Oh, I wonder.
壊したり殺したりすることは簡単にできるのに、直したり蘇らせたりするのはとても難しいというし。
I mean, if you think of it that way, yeah, irreversible things are probably, like breaking something that can't be fixed is easier than fixing something that can't be fixed. So,
そうですね。
yeah, Probably.
魔法は殺めたり壊したりすることの方がとても簡単です。故に誘惑に負ける弱き魔女たちは安易に身につけられる力に酔い、本当の魔法の修行を怠ってしまいます。本当の魔法とは治す力、蘇らせる力、
The
散ってしま
unbelievable.
った幸せを呼び戻し、冷めてしまった愛をも呼び戻す。そして微笑を忘れてしまった姫様の顔に笑顔を呼び戻せるのですよ。
This is so
ツ
strange.
ボを直すことができたベアトリーチェはすごい魔女ということ？
私などまだまだ修行の日々ですよ。
Could this be a young Beatrice?
壺が割れる
From
という
so
運
long
命
ago,
を
maybe?
私の魔法ではほんの1時間も忘れさせることができなかったのですから。私に魔法を教えてくれたお師匠様ならきっと壺を元の姿に蘇らせることができたでしょうね。
壊れても壊れても何度でも何度でも直せる？
Yeah, but that'd be super
その
annoying.
境地に達した時、無限の魔力が備わるでしょう。
An endless
それこ
witch.
そが魔女の達するべき無限の境地。私たちはその魔女を最大の敬いをもってこう呼びます。
無限の魔女。
そうです。
Yeah, that's gotta stick out a
無
little
限
bit,
に
huh?
治す力を持つ魔女にとって壊れるという概念はもはや存在しない。失うというすべての悲しみから解放され、永遠の至福を約束されるのです。
Certainly, the human world is full of sadness caused by separation and loss. To escape that sadness, people pray to gods and ask for the power to withstand their sadness, believing it to be a test. In other words, a human's life is a journey, searching for a way to withstand sadness. In that case, a witch who could revive all things would be freed from all sadness in the world. Simply put, that would mean eternal bliss.
私もベアトリーチェみたいな魔女になって
Oh, careful what you wish
永
for.
遠に幸せになれるかな？
姫様がですか？それは長い長い大変な修行となりますよ。
私魔女になりたい。幸せになりたい。ベアトリーチェの弟子になりたい。
What is that all?
そのお気持ちにいささかの揺らぎもありませんか？
Yeah, probably. I mean, a child's, wonder and aspirations are probably should very much be taken with a grain of salt because they can get excited by a little bit of everything that, occurs in their life. This probably would need a lot more thought, but I mean, kind of reminds us of Maria a little bit, doesn't it?
はい。私も魔女になりたいです。
But would that really bring happiness,
わかりました。では姫様がお飽きになるまで私の弟子にして差し上げましょう。私のことをお師匠様と呼べますか？
はい。お師匠様。
良い返事ですね。ではこれからは私と一緒に魔法の深淵を学んでいきましょう。私とって修行の身。共に魔法を正しく学び、至福の境地を目指して頑張りましょう。
I do wonder if this is supposed to kind of mirror, supposedly, the relationship between Beatrice and Maria. Because I think Maria herself has kind of referred to herself as a witch, learning magic and all that. I mean, she had to learn about a lot of that bullshit from somewhere, right? It's not like you can hop on the old internet and, look up cult-like shit. Like, I think that's a tad bit ridiculous. And also completely impossible at that time. This is the Beatrice we all know and love. And I mean that with so much certainty.
夢。
So was that the past?
懐かしい顔だ。
An endless witch, was it? That rank I had yearned for in the past as the highest possible achievement was now just another one of my titles. No, you might even call it my calling card. So that was her. Huh.
たまにはその呼び名に充足を感じるのもおつなものかもしれない。長き修行の日々の果てに得たものではないか。 たまにはありがたみを感じねば少々もったいないというものよ。
She shook her head lightly. If it's the highest possible level, that means there's nothing higher. An eternal dead end, the beginning of eternal boredom. I was gonna say, like, we've heard that somewhere before, the idea of endless. You just keep on going, and what does Beatrice not like?
お師匠様は言っていたが、すべての悲しみから解き放たれることが、すなわち永遠の至福だと。
And was that really the case?
だからこそ、故に思う、お師匠様は、その域に至れなかった。
Eternal bliss means eternal boredom. And that's the beginning of eternal torture. But it all depends on how you look at it. Eternal boredom is the same as a sketchbook that doesn't run out of pages. Excuse me, it means you can draw whatever you want, can try to have as much fun as you want. Boredom is the worst sort of poison, which kills all witches. Even those great witches who are given the title Lady fear it. It's the eternal poison that tortures them because of the eternal bliss that they've reached. There's nothing else to go for. When you think of it, yeah, sure, these are high-ranking titles or whatever for them, but they really do have some heavy repercussions that are very unfair. You fight and fight and fight, and you end up in a loop of nothing but the same old. Is that real happiness? Like, yeah, like that's actually a really good question here. It's supposedly, you know, something that will make you happy. You'll never be sad again, but that can probably twist and alter itself. Definitely worth questioning. Training has no end. When you think that you've reached the eternal level, that's exactly the time to bemoan your own immaturity. I recalled those words as though she had answered me directly. So love that sound effect. How I've missed that one. I'm actually trying to figure out the scene that we had just seen, or had just went through here to start this episode. Was the person that we were seeing, Beatrice, that we now know here, or was the person that was known as Princess, or the Princess, the one that we now know as Beatrice? Because they really do seem like two completely different people. The sound of painfully shrill laughter rang out. It was coming from my furniture. What, did they break their toy again? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, gamers. I will control myself.
こいつまた動かなくなっちゃいました。まだ私全然遊び足りないのに情けない男。
What are they doing? Actually, you know what? I don't.
全然遊んでないのに。
Yeah, don't answer my question. Let's just see what.
私にも遊ばせて遊ばせて。
Let's just take all of this in. This seems great.
お黙りなさい、クズどもが。お前たちが飢えた犬みたいにがっつくから。いくらベアトリーチェ様が直してもすぐ壊しちゃうのよ。
Oh, we get to see all of them.
サタン姉が一番壊してるよ。加減を知らないから。
申し訳ございません、ベアトリーチェ様。グマイどもをどうかお許しください。
All right, Lucifer. All right. They really all do have the.
こいつを直して。
They all have that personality that we've seen somewhere in anime before, right?
次は私。
Oh, but which one's my favorite, you know?
静かにせぬかやかましい。
Yeah, I don't really know what the hell they were expecting there. A single yell was all it took to make the noisy sisters of the Seven Stakes vanish. All they do is mess around, having as much fun as they want breaking him. They only come to me to clean up afterwards. Truly, this furniture never leaves me bored. which is a good thing, right? Once the furniture hid themselves, all that remained was a sloppy mess, the last remnants of a broken toy. It had no form anymore. So who was it?
このざまでは、わらわとて元の姿を思い出すのも難しい。当の本人に思い出させるのが一番か。やれやれ。
I waved my golden pipe. Then I spoke. I chanted. I made it remember.
さあさあ、思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。何しろわらわには、今のそなたは肉の残骸の山に
The
しか
fuck
見
did
えぬの
those
で
sisters
な
do to this poor man?
どれが腕やら足やら、そなたが思い出して
They
くれ
really
な
fucked
けれ
him
ば
up.
わらわにはそなたの面影も思い出せぬ。
Sorry, I was getting a drink of water. By the power of magic, the pitiful pieces of meat began to remember what their form had been. Which part should go with which part? And where should join with where? That's right, just like that. This is how you make a homunculus. No, you should be a finger on the left hand. That's the right hand. That's it. Good.
おはよう。目が覚めたか。
Oh, it's Battler.
Ushiromiyaバトラー。
What, he has to suffer through this
も
shit?
っとも目が覚めた方が悪夢の中とは実に皮肉な話だがな。
Damn. The straight up fucking disrespect.
わらわを魔女と認めさえすればすぐにそなたの悪夢を覚まし、わらわこそは煉獄山の王。わらわの許しなしにこの地獄より抜け出す方法はないのだ。
この程度で地獄かよ。ダメだな。ああ、全然ダ
No,
メだ
that's
ぜ。
the Battler we all know.
人ならば
She did a really good job putting him back
一度
together.
しか味わずに済む死の苦しみをもう両手の指では数えきれぬほど与えられたというのにだからこそ飽きぬ。そなたには飽きぬのよ。
He's determined all the way to the end.
ああ、全然飽きねえぜ。
Even past actually getting straight up fucking
太ももの
murdered.
眩しいバインバインの姉ちゃん
Over and
たちが
over
より
again.
どりみどりのハーレム状態なんだからよ。
Wait, what?
おかげさまでまるで退屈しねえぜ。
Okay. All right. No comment there.
それはよかった。そうでなくてはわらわも退屈だ。それか直してやったぞ。
God
また
damn it.
存分に遊ぶがよい。
ありがとうございます私がいただき
So what exactly are they doing to
だ
him?
からあんたは終わりよ終わり
Other than the obvious of, straight up killing him.
いよ素敵よねバトラ君モテモテじゃない
モテる男は辛いぜ。畜生ども。
God damn.
順番に並びやがらったんだ。
What are they, like, wrestling or some
素
shit?
直になればもっと楽になれるのに。
They all getting into fist fights with him or
い
something?
いのよこれでその方が悲鳴が気持ちいいもの
さあ今度は簡単に壊すんじゃないわよ。いいわね。返事はあんたが仕切るんじゃないわよ。さあバトラ君、さっきの続きよ。マスターキーでジェシカちゃんの部屋を施錠した後、
Oh, okay.
どうやって室内の死体のポケットに鍵を戻したというの？
I have a feeling that they're questioning him to the point of him blowing up. That's all it is.
そうさ。釣り糸か何かを使って
Oh my god.
鍵だけを扉の隙間から室内に戻して。
甘いな。六軒島に存在するすべての扉は鍵が通り抜けられる隙間などない。
So they can use the red text to... I mean, I guess it makes sense. They are somewhat of a piece of Beatrice.
外れたね、外れたね。さあ今度
私よ、私の番なのよ。どこを貫いちゃおうかな。
Okay, that's what they're doing.
私手の甲。
ずるい。じゃあ反対の手の甲。
They're just gonna kill him again.
私は花の頭をもらっちゃおっと。
Right off the... right at the start of it all.
なんで私にもやらせて、私にも貫かせて。
レビア姉はとろいのよ。いつだって私たちは早い者勝ちでしょうが。じゃあ私は足の甲をいただいちゃおっと。
私は肩をもらっちゃうから。
His whole fucking shoulder?
姉妹なんだろ。仲良くしやがるってんだ。
Yeah, they seem to have some disagreements of sorts.
ほう、よくも耐えるものだな。お前のその痩せ我慢がむしろ私たちを楽しませているだけだとなぜ気づかない。
あいにくだな。痩せ我慢と意地の張り合いは俺のお箱なんだ。
Yeah, I mean, false courage or not, it is actually him convincing himself, at least the brain up there, that, you know, he's doing
お前らと
okay.
俺を煙に巻こうとも、俺は絶対に魔女も魔法も認めねえ。
人間とトリックで何も説明できないくせにバカじゃないの、この身の程知らずが。いいのよ、無理に認めさせなくても今に泣きながら認めたくなるわ。今だって本当は哀れに土下座しながら許しを請いたいくせに。
I don't know, I think the idea of a harem is probably what's making him think that, if anything.
もう壊しちゃった。
Yeah, you guys asked him one fucking question and then just straight up killed him.
ベアトリーチェ様。
やれやれ、わらわがいくらでも蘇らせられることを知っているから。
Yeah, I guess they won't take it easy if that is the case.
躊躇がない。困ったものよ。
Giving eternal rebirth and eternal death at will. Before the endless witch Beatrice, all death and life has no meaning. Even death can't become the key to escape from my cage.
さあバトラー、再び元の姿を思い出すがいい。何度でも
How
もて
fucked up did
遊
he
んで
get again?
なるほど。
Was it as bad as the first time that we saw?
永久に遊べる玩具とは実に
The fuck are they
愉快よ。
doing to him?
なるほどな。これが無限の境地に至った魔女が得る至福の境地とやらなのか。なるほどなるほど。これは確かに愉快で至福だ。
There's the lovely
何度でも蘇らせて
witch laughter that I've missed for a little bit
何度でも
between
殺してやる。
episodes.
さて、次なる
Yeah, let's
ゲー
jump
ム版
right
では
into it. I'm ready
どの
to
ような
go.
殺人劇を繰り広げよう。
I want to know what's bound to pop up in this crazy story. Sorry, I kind of cut her off there, but we got to hear the nice little chuckle or cackle. Oh, I can't watch this. Those cackle sound effects that we all just love so much. Anyways, I'll see you guys after this. Okay, I didn't really watch that, but I enjoyed the nice bit of music because the music in that opening is it's nice. We're right back on the boat. We know where we're headed. I need to go back and yeah, okay, we're headed. We're really jumping right into it. God damn, we're going right for the family conference, aren't we? I was gonna just say that I need to go back and I need to watch the opening for episode 2 because I think I watched the opening for episode 1 because I didn't know who anybody was. I don't think I was going to get spoiled. I mean, I don't even remember anything from it. I should watch the openings for both 1 and 2 then. And then once I'm done with 3, I'll go back and watch 3. I also need to go back and watch the openings for Higurashi, honestly. No spoilers to worry about there. I've already gone through everything, but yeah, definitely need to go back. All right, family conference time, right? Actually, before we do, oh, I love that. Yeah, all right. I think we are heading for the family conference. I think October 4th is the first day of the weekend for that conference. Is there anything in the characters? Nope. Wait. Oh, there is this. This looks a little different. We've got the goats. Low-level furniture who wait on Beatrice. They are many in number, but they have no individuality and rarely speak. They faithfully obey their master's orders, closer in sensibility to animals than humans. They are surprisingly stupid and occasionally get their orders wrong. By nature, they have huge bodies like minotaurs and possess incredible superhuman strength. They're low level as furniture, but the ability to summon them is inexhaustibly is extremely useful. Excuse me. I don't know who we saw in the beginning, if that was actually like a younger version of Beatrice, or if that was somebody else and who we were following was Beatrice. I don't know, but I'm sure that's not really a huge plot point here.
すまんな。夕べからカリカリしとるんや。気にせんでやってくれんか。
Rudolph and Hideyoshi went out onto the deck and took out some cigarettes. Ava had always hated the smell of cigarettes, but when she was in a bad mood, she got even more sensitive to them. The smell sucks. Honestly, if you guys smoke, or if you know people who smoke, I'm sure you guys understand that the smell sticks to your clothes. There's no getting away from it. If you smoke, that shit will follow you. So, I don't know. I guess you definitely get that smell and everything else from, actually being around people smoking, but that will follow. When they decided to smoke casually until they reached the island, the two of them had gotten yelled at and chased out onto the deck. Hideyoshi tried to use his lighter, but the strong winds gave him some trouble. Rudolph took out a Zippo, I don't really know what that is, with a smooth gesture and let Hideyoshi borrow the flame. I'm sure it's a lighter of some sort. Sorry guys, I'm just stupid.
自分の売り物に手をつけてしまったわけや。じゃあ、姉貴と会った時にはもう吸ってたわけだ。姉貴には随分やめろやめろと言われたでしょ。わしが聞く耳持たんもんだから。
No, it's a really bad addiction.
やはり男は強情でなくてはあかんな。
No, I just think anybody who does it, they're just not going to give it up. There has to be such a convincing reason for them to do so, and even then, it may not even make them budge. Hideyoshi laughed heartily, but Rudolph snickered. After being scolded by Ava, they'd escaped to the deck together with their tails between their legs. There was little doubt of who had gotten her way in that exchange. Ah, Rokkenjima, here we come. Actually, wait, that's not Rokkenjima. I think that's where we're coming from, because I can see a whole bunch of shit on the shore there. Hey, I doubt it. Actually, I will give Ava this. When she was alone with Hideyoshi before they fucking died in episode 1, yeah, there was a side of Ava that we had never seen. But all other times, that side of Ava that we've seen is pretty terrible.
Ushiromiya家のエヴァに戻るんや。でもそれはわしと一緒のエヴァとは違うんや。まあ、カリカリする気持ちもわかります。今回の親族会議は面倒だ。
Oh, you don't know the half of it, Rudolph.
クラウス兄さんから金を脅し取ろうっちゅう計画や。親族会議なんて名ばかりの、これはただの兄弟喧嘩や。
And it's so great. Or at least it was in episode 1 when we went through it the first time, and then, just all other times it's kind of a rehash or different variation of what we've already seen. We now understand why they're doing it. And slowly but surely, I think we're going to be seeing the different reasons as to what's pushing them so hard to want to do this. Before the family conference, 3 of the siblings had made a secret pact without Kraus. They were all facing urgent situations and needed a lot of money fast. and the only one that they could turn to was Kraus, who spoke for the Ushiromiya head now that Kinzo spent his time shut up in his study. For a long time now, they'd vaguely sensed that Kraus was taking advantage of the fact that Kinzo had lost interest in his own wealth, and they suspected that he had started embezzling that wealth to suit his own purposes. Which, yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. Every sibling here has some fucking problems, and they're willing to do a whole lot of bad for their own, for their own reasons. Hence why we're, seeing them come here, and they've got this lovely plan in mind. Despite being disgusted by this, they had turned a blind eye to it while everything was still going smoothly for them. But now that they needed money, they really couldn't afford to let it slide. Ava had asked Rudolph and Rosa to form an alliance, and they were now scheming to take that money away from Kraus. Or at least a sizable percentage.
ルドルフ君も社長や社員の生活を背負っとる身や。
ローザも社長ですよ。ま、道楽ですね。
I don't really know what Rosa is up to.
つまり、わしらは誰もが背負うものを持っとるっちゅうことや。
And I know that a few people in the comments were saying, that they actually liked Rosa and this and that back in episode 2 when I was kind of throwing some shade Rosa's way, but the thing is, you have to look at it from both sides. Now that I've had some time to think about it, yeah, there are two sides of it. She was put into a situation where she was kind of cornered into basically suspecting everybody to protect herself and her daughter. And that's actually the big thing there, is that she was, at the very end, wanting to protect her daughter. She seemed to care at the very end of it all. So we kind of saw a hidden side of Rosa. I don't really know what to think of her. I think she is fucked up, but I also think a lot of these characters here are fucked up. And we'll eventually find out why.
お互い様や。わしもわしを信じてついてきてくれた社員たちを裏切れ。それこそクラウス兄さんの首根っこを掴んででも金を引っ張り出さんといかんのや。
It's interesting. You can think of it as like, yeah, he doesn't want to lose his company and all that. We kind of know the risks that Hideyoshi has going on to a very slight degree. We know the risks, but there's also, he wants to keep that trust with his employees and make sure that they continue to get money, that they're able to still work. That is commendable. The other side of it is like, yeah, I mean, it's selfishness. You can kind of argue both, really.
やっぱりエヴァはクラウス兄さんとは昔から仲が悪かったんか？
本人話しませんか？そりゃもう盛大に。
昔の話は聞いても話してくれんのや。思い出したい話がないんやろな。
I mean, shit. We saw a little bit from Rosa's perspective at the very end. I think it was the tea party for episode 2. I mean, Rosa supposedly had it very rough. Who's to say how Ava had it? Probably a whole different ballpark that probably shaped the way of how things were going to go for Rosa. Oh, how fucked this family can be.
アホやな。なんでそない敵外心むき出しで追い詰めるんや。そういうのは要領がいいとは言わん。
確かに兄貴は女に生まれたことを悔やんでた。だから男というだけの理由で当主を継ぐことが決まっている兄貴が多分許せなかったんだ。
Well, it was also the order, right?
だからことあるごとに自分の方が優秀であると親父に誇示していた。
Actually, I'm trying to remember how it all was supposed to go down. I think Ava was supposed to marry out, but they were able to do some convincing to get Hideyoshi kind of married in to the register.
お父さんは古いタイプの人や。男女には差別的な価値観を持っとった。自己顕示の強いエヴァは 少々嫌われてたんとちゃうか？
I would believe so, actually, yeah. I don't find that too hard to believe. Oh ho, here we go. This looks like the good old past. Minus the good, probably. Alright, so I am officially out of time, which sucks because I really want to continue this shit. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there, as we have slowly entered into episode 3. I know, a whole lot of yapping from me, not really a whole lot of progress made. We got past the little prologue there with Beatrice, and we're jumping into a whole new story. How things will go here, I have absolutely no idea. But of course, it is to benefit Beatrice. That is how this game board is set up. I think Brinka still told us that herself, is that, you know, that's how Beatrice plays her games. It's kind of to an unfair degree. She is basically set up to win always. But I do wonder, what sort of help will we get here? What will we see here? What will we learn? What characters will we come across? Because we've already come across, you know, kind of a new one. We're learning about these steak gals. And I don't know. All I gotta say is, guys, avoid crazy. You know? It may seem appealing. You know, Battler's crazy-ass harem that, you know, keeps on killing him, but I don't know. But anyways, yeah, we'll wrap it up here, but I am looking forward to seeing what tomfoolery episode 3 has in store for us. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.